Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, yeah, it's been a very long time since I've done a vlog. Well, not a very long time, alhamdulillah. Just been very, very busy. As you can see on my YouTube page, I've been doing loads and loads and loads of stuff. And alhamdulillah, with your du'as and with the support that I got from you guys, I've been able to actually make some more videos as well and start some new series on topics that really I want to do. So anyway, before I talk about that, I want to talk about what I've decided to make the vlog on, which is how to become a productive student. So this is from my own personal observations. You can ask questions. If you ask any questions, inshallah, I'll try to answer them as well. So you can type your questions in, inshallah. So first of all, the things that I personally think that students have to do is, as a student, personally me, when I was studying, I kind of made lots of mistakes when I was a student. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Jangir Sab. Kayfa halukum? One of the biggest mistakes that I made was I didn't really take certain subjects, I didn't take them very seriously. All right, so because I didn't take them very seriously at that time, what happened later on was the impact of that I saw when I was in need of those subjects, or I needed to know certain topics in that subject, and I didn't really have a clue, because I didn't focus too much in that lesson or in that subject. So and I mean, obviously when you're studying like about 6-7 subjects a day, and then one of them you find it very difficult, or one of them you're not very interested in, it's logical, isn't it? It's quite obvious that you're not really going to be focusing too much on everything you can't. So that was one of the things that I did, which I didn't really focus. Now, that's my own personal kind of one of my mistakes. The other kind of mistake I think I made, looking back now, was I didn't really kind of consciously engage in many of my lessons as I should have. And looking back now, if I knew then what I know now, the lesson planning that I would do would be very, very different. And I would say possibly, I mean, this is probably no exaggeration. I would say that what I have learnt up to now, right? So this is 2019. What I've learned up to now, I think I probably learnt more after I graduated than I've learnt when I was studying. Now you have to understand what I'm saying here. Okay, so don't say that this guy's didn't benefit from his studies. Alhamdulillah, benefit from my studies. The thing that I learned in my studies, which I couldn't have learned outside, was the skills I gained. So skill-based learning, like Nahu, Arabic grammar, and spoken Arabic, writing Arabic, understanding the fundamentals of Fiqh and Usul. So these kind of fundamental things which I learnt when I was studying there, these are things which I probably would have struggled with trying to learning outside of my own. But a lot of the content itself, I would say I learnt it later on. That was something that was learned later on. So most of what I've learned from that was self-study afterwards, and learning from YouTube, benefiting YouTube, reading books, reading articles, writing myself. So these are kind of things that I basically kind of benefit from. But I would say if I could go back, Jazakallah khair. Ankri, is that how you say your name? Hello, Kazakhstan. And I would really like to come to Kazakhstan. I saw this video the other day in Kazakhstan, and there's this guy. So he basically goes on tours to different countries to eat different types of food, and he showed Kazakhstan. And trust me, the kind of food they had there was next level, man. Like these kebabs, roasted lamb, and I don't want to describe it to you guys because some of you guys haven't had your food yet, and you're probably going to be dying of hunger, so I can't describe it to you guys. But yeah, thank you very much, Jazakallah khair. And alhamdulillah, the amount of messages I get with regards to some of the videos that I make, it really makes me happy. So Jazakallah khair for that. So anyway, going back to what I was saying, it was that was another one of the, I would say, the kind of shortcomings that I had when I was studying. The other thing now I kind of regret a lot was I should have benefited from the students more. So there was a lot of students there who kind of knew things like, for example, Persian. I started learning Persian But I wish I had practiced more Persian over there, right? And there was like lots of Persian students there from Iran and from Tajikistan and other countries who knew Farsi. And I really wish that now I'd focused more on that. I wish I had focused more on my speaking Urdu and writing Urdu as well. So I did learn, I mean, I can understand Urdu and I can get into conversation. But the thing is, I find it kind of difficult to kind of give a whole talk in Urdu. Yeah, so that's one of my weaknesses that I have. So I can probably give a much better talk in Arabic than I can give in Urdu. But you know, that's going to take time. Maybe I can practice that over here because there's quite a lot of people who speak Urdu in my local area. That was another thing. I think what else was there? Yeah, I think the other thing is trying to benefit from the teachers. So you see, when you have a teacher, what you need to do if you really want to become productive in your studies is find out from your teacher what kind of area that they are passionate about and learn that from them. So if you have a teacher who is passionate, let's say about Hadith, learn that from them. Just ask them not to teach you a book, just to teach you from their own kind of like fawaid, right? Their own kind of benefits. And trust me, you will learn so much because they kind of give you lots of deep insights. So they have like years and years of reading and understanding, and they kind of summarizing it, giving you the juice, the concentration of that knowledge, right? So, you know, I would say, wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. تعلمت ثقافة الإسلامية الحمد لله. So you know, that's another thing. So benefit from, find your teachers. You might find a teacher who is excellent in Nahu, or he might be excellent in, you know, some other subject. Learn that from him. Learn his expertise, right? That's another thing that you want to do. So first of all, I would say my advice, if you want to become productive, you know, your teachers benefit a lot from the areas that they are good at. So if there's a teacher who is not good in a certain area, you know, I would say don't spend too much of your time trying to get him to teach you that. Try to get him to teach you the thing that he's passionate about. That's the first thing, or she's passionate about. Number two is when you're studying any book, first of all, before you study the book, you should always have an understanding, an overview of what that book is about. Always try to understand what is this book about. So let's say, for example, I've got like, let's say, you know, this is a book, yeah, Financial Islamic Jurisprudence Transactions, yeah? So there's 2 volumes. So if I want to study this book, let's say, it's not a studying book anyway, but if I want to study this book, I would kind of try to ask people, what is this book about? Try to read reviews on the book, try to kind of ask other people what the book is about, shortcomings in the book, things to look out for in the book. That way what happens is when you study the subject, what happens is you know exactly what to focus on. Sometimes, I'll give you an example. Sometimes some people study Arabic grammar. They always say to me, what book shall I study? What shall I do? What shall I do? And they can be studying Arabic grammar for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. 15 years you're studying Arabic grammar and you still feel that you haven't perfected it. That kind of, you know, okay, where did you learn Islamic education? I learned Islamic education in Pakistan, in Karachi. So, تعلمت بكراتشي, Pakistan. So yeah, that's basically, you know, what you need to do. So let's say, for example, you're studying Nahu. Why do you want to study Nahu for? What's your purpose? What do you want to get at the end of it? What's your aims and objectives? And then in Nahu, to gain those aims and objectives, what do you need to focus on? Because there's lots of things in Nahu which you don't really need to focus too much on. You'll understand it naturally as you go through. Right? Like vocab is something you can study and learn on your own. You don't want to spend too much time on vocab. You want to understand, for example, look, all of Arabic grammar, it kind of boils down to just sentences. How to construct sentences. That's all you want to do. You want to basically be able to construct a sentence. When you translate, you want to know, does it fit within the Arabic grammar or not? Simple as that. I studied in Banuritan, Guru Mandar Banuritan. Yeah. So that's the second thing that you need to do. So first of all, try to get the teacher who is very passionate about something and try to learn that from them. And the second thing is, any subject that you study, try to focus on aims and objectives and then how to get there. What are the main points? Like some people study Hadith and they'll study Bukhari and Muslim and Tirmidhi and all these books of Hadith. But at the end of it, you're thinking like, what was the point of you studying all of this? Did you really need to study all of this book? You want to focus on what is the main features of Bukhari that you want to study. And you want to focus on the entire book. When you're going through it, there's certain few points that you want to focus on. Same with Tirmidhi, same with with any other book. Let's look at fiqh, for example. If you're studying fiqh, why do you want to study fiqh for? Like, do you want to study fiqh just to cover the book from cover to cover? Like, some people ask me, Sheikh, can you make a video on Quduri? Can you make a video on Hidayah? Can you make... The thing I wanna do is I wanna be able to benefit the student in such a way that it's the most productive, the most optimum sort of benefit learning. Like, I want to teach them the things that is going to be the best thing that they can learn in this book. And I don't want to spend too much time on translation. I don't want to spend too much time on just mentioning things like that. That's something that I don't want to focus on. What is the best way to, Walaikum Salam, Waheed, vocab? The best way I found vocab is, flashcards. Use flashcards. So this is not a heart here, by the way. Flashcards. So you get a flashcard, you get a piece of paper basically, you write down the Arabic word, and on the other side you write down English. And you can even get these new apps that they have, flashcard apps, that are very, very, Anki, A-N-K-I, that's a very good one that you can use. And you can program it, and then it will daily, it'll give you the flashcards. And that's a very powerful way of retaining words as well. That's one way. Another way is just simply just reading. Do lots of reading, lots of listening, and you kind of pick it up. I prefer the second method. Like, what I will do now is I will download an entire audio book from YouTube. There's loads of free ones you can get. And I will just put it into my phone, and I'll put my earphones on, and I will just listen to a book cover to cover in Arabic. And there'll be lots of words in there which I don't know, but because I keep on listening to it, every time I kind of listen to that word and I come across it somewhere else, I'll say, oh yeah, remember this word. You kind of have like a passive understanding of what that word means. So that's what I do, basically. Everyone's got their own method. I know some people, they write down words and then they put it on the front screen, the home screen on their phone. They put it on there. So every time they switch on their phone, that's the first thing that comes to them. So after about a week, they change it and they add another one. So, I mean, that's another thing that maybe you can do. So anyway, so that was, the first one is benefit from your teacher, the most passionate kind of subject that they're interested in, study that. Number two is whatever subject that you're studying, make sure that, one second, let me just plug this charger in before the charge runs out. Yeah, you guys, is everyone okay? Is everyone doing well? I haven't asked about you guys. Yeah, I haven't asked how you guys are. I've been so busy these past few days, the past few weeks. I haven't been asking about you guys. Where's Jihad? I haven't seen Jihad. Is Jihad there? Yeah. Who else? Who's my man or my friends? Alhamdulillah. Hamid, Azuz. Alhamdulillah. So yeah. Okay. Now the third thing, how to become a productive student. The third thing to become. You're my friend as well, Shah. You're my friend as well, inshallah. So how to become a productive student? So the third thing I would say that you have to do is, whatever you study, right, what you need to do, you need to go back and you need to try to understand it in your own way. Now, what do I mean by this? So let me give you an example. Let's say, for instance, you want to study, let's say, Usul Hadith, for example. You want to understand Usul Hadith, and your teacher explains to you, okay, this is a hadith, and every hadith has a chain, and depending on who's in the chain, or depending on the condition of the chain, then the hadith is going to become affected. So now what you want to do is, you want to kind of really understand, how did this work in the real world? Like, what was the... So you might want to try and read up about how information has been... Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Jihad. So... I hope you're well. So what you might want to do is, like, you might want to kind of go on YouTube, you might want to go Google and Google up, in the past, how did people used to preserve information? What methods did they used to use? And so you might come across articles or videos or documentaries and things like that. And so what this does, it kind of opens you up to this idea and it brings questions into your mind. So when you go to the lesson, you're going to be asking the teacher a lot of questions. And this is something which, not only will it benefit you in understanding the subject, but it will also strengthen you in understanding, Alhamdulillah, Hamid, I am very good. Thank you very much for asking, sir. And this will make you very, very strong. When you're studying fiqh, for example, like let's say you're studying fiqh, and recently I've been teaching in Hidayah about the times of Salat. So what you might want to do is, you might want to go out and do field work. You might want to observe the movements of the sun. You might want to look at shadows. You might want to try and understand problems that the scholars would have faced in the past, and all sorts of things will come into your mind. The science kind of has to become more, I would say, dynamic, more interactive. You need to feel as though you're giving input as well. Yes, definitely. Some of you might say, but maybe our teacher is not very kind of, friendly in the lesson. He doesn't kind of open up to us, and he doesn't allow us to be able to ask questions. Unfortunately, sometimes you might have teachers like that. But the thing is, try and do whatever you can. Yeah, whatever you can do, I would say try and do. So that's the third thing I would say. You need to be more interactive. For example, adab. I'm thinking of making videos, a series. What's the method of studying the asanid of Muwatta? With me, I have an extremely bad memory with memorizing sanads. Yeah, I actually tried to memorize Muwatta, and I had reached, I don't know, I'd probably memorized about 30 pages or 40 pages, I don't know how many I memorized, and then I forgot it because I never used to go over it. And then it's just memorizing chains. I don't think it's something important in today's time. All right, it's not important, I would say. In the olden days, it was important. In today's time, it's not. It's just like now, it's just to kind of, it's like an art now. So if someone does memorize it, it would be more of an art than it would actually be an important aspect of a student's, because everything has been preserved. So you don't really need to, rely on the memory that much. And again, one is memory and one is recollection. So someone might memorize something, but they might not be able to, recall that information as well. So I would say, if you really want to understand sanads, the most important thing you have to do is you have to read lots of sanads. Read lots of sanads, draw them out. This is what I find beneficial. Draw them out yourself on a piece of paper. Every time you come across a sanad, just draw it out. And any sort of information that you can find about each narrator, make a little note of it, the important points. Try to make a note. And every time you come across that individual, like for example, you might come across, all right, Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri. Oh, his name is Zuhri. His name is also Ibn Shihab. Okay, he was, he never narrated from Abu Huraira. Okay, Abu Ubaidah. Abu Ubaidah was the son of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. He never heard from his father. He passed away when he was 7 years old. His father passed away when he was 7 years old. And then you might think, okay, Sufyan ibn Uyayna, Sufyan al-Thawri. Sufyan al-Thawri is stronger than Ibn Uyayna. Ibn Uyayna is a mudallis. These kind of things. Like, I will know that now, because I've gone over it so many times. كثرة التكرار والتداول والمزاولة. All of these things, it kind of sticks in your head. So sanads, and I actually asked a scholar recently. His name is Sheikh what's his name, man? His name just skipped my mind. Sheikh Tukla. So he was saying, right, he said to me that if you really want to learn hadith, he goes, you have to go through hundreds and hundreds of chains. You have to go through. And he has literally gone through hundreds and thousands of chains, reading it to scholars, qira'at. Right, so, sanad is probably one of the hardest things, I would say, because you're learning basically about individuals that you've never even seen in your life. Right, and people memorize kind of football players' names, right, sports personalities, celebrities, because they see them on a day-to-day basis, every day. So imagine you saw like actors, film actors, pop stars, football players, soccer players, whatever you guys call them. We say football, you guys say soccer. So you might want to look at different. So the more you're exposed, the more you're going to learn about them. That's how it's going to work. Yeah. So, okay. So what was I saying? So, for example, like adab, going back to what I was saying. So adab, if you want to learn adab Arabi, like for example, you want to write really good Arabic, you want to be able to understand very sort of classical Arabic literature, what you need to do is, when you listen to the Arabic or when you read the Arabic, you need to start to write down yourself, like a journal or stories or whatever your articles. And you need to try to implement the sentences that are used, the expressions and the words that are used. Try to use them in those, utilize them. That way what will happen is you're going to become much, much stronger in understanding. Some people will study like, so many, dawaween or diwan al-shu'ara, like poetries of different poets or books of different scholars of literature. They'll study loads of them. But then when you ask them, okay, can you please write me one A4 sheet of Arabic? They won't be able to write it. So what's the point of you studying so much of that that now when it comes to trying to implement it, you can't understand it. Yeah, so I find that difficult. I don't really agree with that. So that's why I'm thinking of starting a series, and that series basically is going to be where, like, you've probably seen my Diwan Shafi'i series, right? What do you guys think? Do you guys think I should continue in Arabic or I should start it in English? The reason I'm doing it in Arabic is because I want people to be able to understand the Arabic language in Arabic. Because in reality, adab, Arabic language can only be truly tasted if it's in Arabic. You can't like taste Arabic through another language. I personally, I feel you can't. You'll be able to grasp lots of ideas. It's gonna be on this channel, inshallah. So that's why I think you can't. It's like, for example, a person who's trying to learn. Let's say there's a guy who's looking at an artwork, and he phones you, and you say to him, what are you looking at? And he says, I'm looking at artwork. Describe it to me. And he describes it to you, and you don't know what he's looking at, but he's just describing it to you. That's basically what many of us experience when we learn Arabic texts, adab texts especially, shi'r, poetry and all that, through a different language. There is a natural barrier. You're going to be limited to how much you can really appreciate and absorb from that language, right? So that's why I want to do in Arabic. But I mean, I understand some people have been asking me, can you please do the Diwan al-Shafi'i in English or put some English words there? Or I feel reluctant. Shall I do it? Shall I not do it? Because I'm trying to find a balance here. I want students to, every subject that I teach, like Quduri, or if I do the Ajurumiyya or any other, I want the students to be able to like understand that subject and learn exact things that they want. Wa alaikum assalam, Yasin. How are you, Yasin? Are you well? So that's basically, what I'm thinking. I don't know what you guys think. And, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair to all you guys, all the patrons who are helping me on this. Mashallah, may Allah give you loads and loads of reward. Yeah, you motivated me a lot. And, it's really kind of helped me start the work. I'm still getting the equipment ready, inshallah, the software, so I can do much more work. I want to do much more than this. I want to cover all basically Dars Nizami major books. Wa alaikum assalam, FF. And I want to kind of cover Nahu, that, I want to study, teach Usul, Fiqh, Hadith, Aqidah. I want to come out and explain, give all of this to all of you guys. And I used to kind of think in the past, shall I kind of put all this stuff onto the internet and give it free to everyone? I used to be kind of reluctant because it's ilm and knowledge and all that, and people should put an effort into learning. But now I realize, the state of many of the places, education places, the standards are so low that there are so many students who are contacting me and asking me, please can you do a series on this, or please can you teach this, or please can you do this? And deep down I really feel sorry for them. And I feel as though it's not fair that, why is it that they're getting a low standard of education? It's Islamic education, and no one should ever have to learn a low level of Islamic education. Everyone should have a high level of Islamic education, the best Islamic education they should have, at least. So that's why I want to do this project, guys. If you know anyone that is interested in this, share my videos with them. If you want to support me with the Patreon, support with the Patreon, inshallah. All of this is something that's going to go towards good things, inshallah. And imagine this project is going to be like 10, 15, 20, 30 years even. And imagine at the end of it, we have a whole, a place where we can have access to information that is understood at the best level that we can provide. Other people will be inspired as well, and I'm sure there's going to be other people who will start more amazing work than what I want to do, right? And we'll continue this work, inshallah, and it'll become a sadaqah jariyah for me, and it'll become a sadaqah jariyah for everyone who is part of this as well. And mashallah, I've got some people who have contacted me and have asked me, they want to provide the computer or the software, and they want to pay for all of these things. Alhamdulillah, there's lots of people out there who want to help out and do these good things. And eventually, have you seen that Khan Academy? If you've seen that Khan's Academy, on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have seen it, and he does like, he covers all these different history and science and all these topics in a similar way. I mean, why can't we have something much better than that for our Muslims around the world? I think we should have that. And inshallah, with this initiative, with your help, inshallah, we're going to get this done. وَنُحِبُّكُمْ أَيْضًا أَحَبَّكَ الَّذِي أَحْبَبْتَنِي فِيهِ. جزاكم الله خير. Yeah, so that's what I want to explain to you guys, man. So I'm very happy, jazakallah khair, for your guys' support, and you guys all the way through, you guys have been helping me. Alhamdulillah, this is something which is, I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, and it's just things, committing myself is a very hard thing. Yeah. But inshallah, I'm going to slowly start, and I've got so many ideas in my head. Every day I'm writing down new ideas or new series I'm going to start. Jazakallah khair, Shah, jazakumullah khair. Yeah, Banna, I mean, I'm thinking, what I might do with that English vocab, I might just show a picture of English vocab, and then anyone who wants to pause it and like use that vocab, they can use that. Otherwise, I'm going to focus more. So I want to do like balagha. I want to focus a lot on the Quran. A lot of the resources I want to do is focus a lot on Quran, on grammar, on balagha, rhetoric, on how the language of the Quran is used, the linguistics of the Quran, the expressions of the Quran. I just want to cover as much as I can of what I know, other people as well. Wa alaikum assalam, Dutch Muslim. I'm gonna try to come maybe once a week or so. I'm gonna try to come and see, hopefully, because the quality, أخبرنا عن الكتاب الذي تكتب في Mars. Yeah, so by the way, guys, yeah, I am writing a book on Mars with all the other things I'm doing. I'm writing a sci-fi book on Mars. It's called The Martian Muslim. I still haven't figured out the name yet, but it's going to be The Martian Muslim. So basically, there's going to be a guy who's living on Mars, and it's in the future, set in the future, and he is thinking about God, and he's thinking about the hereafter, and he wants to become a Muslim. So basically, what I'm going to do is it's going to be about his journey to learning about Allah and learning about Islam on Mars. So you can imagine all the challenges he's going to have in and trying to understand the Quran, when the Quran talks about things that are to do with earth, like rain and rivers and gardens and societies and food and animals and insects and all these kind of things. So it's like I want to see how it would apply on Mars. Yeah, so at the moment I've written about 30-40 pages of it. So make dua, inshallah, because I think there's a lot of people out there that want to learn about Islam, but they like sci-fi, they like these kind of things. So I thought, why not write a book that can teach them about these kind of things as well, make it more enjoyable as well, and they learn about Islam at the same time as well. So yeah, so that's أسميه من بعدك. طيب Mars Muslim. Yeah, so these are some of the things. So how Arabic? Sorry, Hamidullah say I know speak Arabic, but I do not know how to read. So what you can do is I've got a video on learn how to read the Quran. So go to my video channel and you'll find a whole series on that. Ameen. Asif. MashaAllah, Asif. أنت آسف. أنت الآسف الذي في صفي في ترمذي. نعم. So yeah, so that's something that I'm doing at the moment, and so there's lots of things that I want to do, but again, it's all organizing myself and time and so alhamdulillah, inshallah, and get all these things done. And with the help of Allah and inshallah with your du'as as well, I want to start with the YouTube videos as well, inshallah. And I'm going to give me ideas about what you guys think. Like I want to think about starting mantiq as well, which not now, it's going to be in the future, but obviously I need to dedicate more time. Mantiq and falsafa and more on usul, usul fiqh, cover more usul fiqh books even, usul hadith. Inshallah. So ilm al-sarf as well. Ilm al-sarf. I'm gonna start ilm al-sarf. So there's a lot of things, and alhamdulillah, I've mentioned this project to you guys. So it's just, inshallah, make du'as, and with your guys' support, inshallah, I'm gonna get all this done. Yeah, and this is going to be sadaqah jariyah for me and sadaqah jariyah for all those people who are supporting as well. Ameen, 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 ameen. علمنا القردان من فضلك. لا 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 أعلمكم القردان. طيب. Could you make sure the text is on the screen when teaching here? Okay. No, I'm not going to be teaching the books live. It's not going to be like this live. It's going to be pre-recorded ones. Right. Live is going to be a bit too difficult. I see the problem is with the live, you need a whole team. I don't really have a team. It's just me, a one-man show. So, you know, if you want like live, and that's going to require a team. Maybe in the future sometime if you have a team or something to do all these kind of things, because at the moment I'm doing everything, the recording and the editing and, you know, all the research and everything I have to do for each video. So, but inshallah in the future, if I do any kind of live sort of ones, then I'll try to get something like that sorted. So anyway, any other questions you guys have you might want to ask? Anything before I go? No? So Jazakumullah khair, guys. So the vlog was about productive Muslims, productive students, inshallah. So I hope you guys are also, you know, become productive as well in that. Jazakumullah khair, inshallah. I will make dua for you guys. You make dua for me as well, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Okay, which books, tafsir books, do you recommend for linguistic aspects besides Kashaf? Besides Kashaf, you know, Kashaf, I think a lot of people can't appreciate Kashaf. Kashaf is a tafsir. It's not, you need to know lots of background things before you read that tafsir to be able to appreciate fully. A lot of people will read Kashaf and maybe they only benefit 30% of what's written, 40%. Like they understand the translation, but he subtle indications that he gives that you need to have, you know, background understanding. Another good tafsir if you want to read is tafsir Tahrir wa Tanwir and Abu Sa'ud. Yeah, tafsir Tanwir and Abu Sa'ud. Okay, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Malali Sayyid, hope you're well. Yes, ask a quick question. Shah, go ahead. What's the best way to memorize Quran? I haven't memorized the Quran, so I wouldn't be the best person to answer that. But what I would suggest from the people I have asked is stick to one copy of the Quran and memorize the Quran every single day in the same place that you memorize. Like don't move places, like sit in one place, in one room, and memorize for a certain amount of time, and then have frequent breaks. So memorize for a little while, and then have a break, and then memorize and have a break. Tafsir al-Manar, is it any good for language? I mean, it depends. What do you want? You know, when you say you want to learn language, what do you mean you want to learn language? Like, you don't need a tafsir to learn language. Like, I don't understand. What is that? By the way, a new series is starting, inshallah. It's going to start. I'm going to put it up soon. Some of you guys have probably seen it on my Facebook. It's going to be the Quranic, the linguistics one. So I'm trying to find all the words in the Quran and trying to find like common patterns in those words and usages and meanings. So that's going to come inshallah soon as well. A lot of people connected with Noor Ali Khan. Is he alim? Yeah, I mean, to my knowledge, he's alim. Yeah, if you mean he's done dars in Nizami, I don't think he's done the full dars in Nizami, but he has done something which is similar to one. Like how many verses to take a day? Sahaba used to actually learn 5 to 10 verses a day. Yeah, Sahaba used to learn about 5 to 10 verses a day. Okay, balagha points in the Quran. Okay, so balagha points in the Quran. Again, if you want balagha points in the Quran, then what I would suggest is reading Abu Sa'ud would be good. Tafsir al-Munir is good. Tafsir al-Munir is a good tafsir. Wahab al-Zuhaili. He's got like every section, he points out balagha points. And I'm going to be, again, I'm doing a new series as well. It's called Quranic Insights. And I'm going to be covering like balagha inside ayats. So I'm starting with Surah Naba. And I'm going to be covering ayats and the balagha points in there as well. Yeah, inshallah. Okay, so Jazakallah khair, guys. I have to go now. Thank you very much for listening to me. And make dua for me, inshallah, as well. And, you know, Just share my video with anyone who wants to benefit. Can I speak Arabic without going to school? You have to learn Arabic. I mean, you'll have to learn it first of all. So you don't have to go to school to learn it, but you'll have to go somewhere to learn it. Does Tafsir al-Maturidi have a sound ascription to Imam? I don't know. I haven't seen Tafsir al-Maturidi. I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure.